Now, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. So let me explain. First off, it's free. I'm not joking, you guys. The Anchor app, it is free to use. Second, there's creation tools that allows you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Now that's awesome, isn't it? Third, Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere, you guys, on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and so many more platforms. Fourth, you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Now, is that awesome, you guys, or what? That's just terrific. And finally, it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So I have another podcast with Anchor, and I'm just loving Anchor so much. I love it. It's so very easy to use, guys. So why don't you download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. What's up, you guys, and welcome to the official podcast of Damian Talks Education. So listen up. I am here to talk about all things education on my podcast. So get prepared for some realness and honesty of education as I walk you down through various of topics that's happening in the education world with some amazing guests, to sharing stories relating to education and so much more, because I got you covered with education. So join me on this journey of education with me. Hello, everyone, and welcome to my show, Damian Talks Education. And I'm so glad that you guys are with me on today. So thank you so much. Sit on down, and welcome to my show. And happy Friday to all of you guys. I hope you had a wonderful week as much as I did, because my week was so great. So let's just hop right in to the show on today, you guys, because this is the season 5 finale of Damian Talks Education, and I got a lot to tell you guys on today, where I am going to hop right into the topic for the show today. And then also I have an announcement for you guys as well about the future of Damian Talks Education. So that will be later on into the show. I'm not going to do it at the beginning. I'm going to wait at the end. So let's hop right in to today's show, shall you guys, because this is going to be for high school students only. Okay, teachers, you can listen to this as well, but high school students, I am talking to specifically to you guys on today. Okay, so today's show is all about encouraging high school students to think deeply, alone, and together. Okay, that is a catchy title right there, isn't it? So let's get started onto here. Okay, so I found out, you guys, that one teacher guides her students to think, her high school students, to think deeply first in their conversation with her, then with peers, and with a larger group. Okay, so let me dive into this here. So, and I found out, a story, you guys, from this topic here, that in nearly a decade of teaching, this teacher has taught in 8 total classrooms so far. And in those classrooms, she has, acknowledged, she has seen over every possible seating arrangement. Now, you guys, me and Andrew, we had talked about this in our very first season of the educators. So make sure you guys check it out, over where we talk about seating, flexible seating. Let me put it that way: flexible seating, and will I can't speak on today, and will we be implementing that inside of our own classroom? So make sure you check out the episode. I'm gonna have a link to you guys. So check it out, check it out. So this teacher, has been using, flexible seating, trying to find, seating arrangement inside her classroom for nearly, a decade, trying to maximize, the space inside of her own classroom, the comfort of her classroom, the attention that the students would get, and so several more, you guys. Okay, now playing some games with 30 desks. Wow, 30 desks is a high stake game, right? One that forced teachers to ask themselves difficult questions. Okay, and sometimes those are, they're like, how can I assure that every kid feel seen? Absolutely, absolutely. And sometimes the question comes from that day's instructional need, which is, how can I foster small group discussion in the beginning of the period, and independent reflection at the end of the day. So while these questions are very important, because they are, you guys, the time came for this teachers to stop, just stop everything, stop worrying about it so much about where her students were sitting. Okay, so instead, this teacher started thinking about what ideas her students are sitting with and how much space she was giving them to do that. Do you guys understand? I hope you understand that right there. Well, I'm going to dive into more into this here, because her, when she was trying to figure all this out, inside of her classroom, trying to find, what's best for her students and for her as well, inside of her classroom, her inspiration, for all of this was, I'm probably going to pronounce this name correctly, but I'll have it onto the screen, you guys. Well, I'm going to pronounce his last name correctly. But her inspiration was from Henry David Thoreau. I don't think I said his last name correctly. And this inspiration that he wrote, in one of his book, which is called "Reclaiming Conversation: The Power of Talk in a Digital Age," and probably that's probably sold everywhere. It's probably maybe on Amazon. You could probably find it, at Walmart, in your local, bookstores, whatever. Saying quote from the book, you guys, I found, saying that I had three chairs in my house, one for solidarity. I'm saying that correctly. Solitude. I can't even speak on today. I apologize, you guys. So one for that, two for friendship, and three for society. Okay. And this was from, sorry, you guys, I said that was from his book. This was actually from Sherry Turkle in one of her book that I just named out, you guys. Okay. And which challenged readers to consider how social media constant connection has robbed many, adolescent, teenagers, to of what's going on into the world, you guys. Okay. So let's go back to this teacher that, she used this as inspiration for her classroom, which she's going to use these ideas, which will lead her to create what she calls a one chair moment, two chair moment, and a three chair moment. Though these are not, really about chairs or sitting, perhaps. Okay, so see, she teach the quote and structure to her students in the beginning of the school year, very start at the beginning of the school year. So the following ideas became a shared class vocabulary. All right. So I'm going to, list down what are her one chair moments, what are her two chair moments, and what is her three chair moments. So you guys, probably teachers, I know you're watching this, you probably want to jot these down so you can implement this inside your classroom if you feel like it. And I know, some, of course, high school students are watching this. You guys pay attention as well, because you can probably, help out, with your teacher inside the classroom, if it's, with the seating arrangement stuff, and like this would be a good idea. So, all right, so let's do the one chair moment first, okay? In which she used this as encouraging students to think deeply. Okay, so she asked this here: are you giving your students, intentional space to think? It's part of your job to introduce students to the joy of sitting with their own thoughts. All right. So the first I have of the one chair moment is to email your students. Yes, email your students. Email your students. So this low stacks weekly email between you and your students individually should ask the following question, or questions, I should perhaps. What have you been thinking about lately? Okay. When I first do this assignment, I often have students write me back saying this here: I have been so overwhelmed with school that I have not been thinking about anything at all. All right. So that should be a red flag for you guys as educators. Okay. But, there always has to be a but, right? But it's also a powerful step forward toward growing in students, attention, their recognition, their metacognition. Okay. So you must, I'm gonna add that into there. You must challenge them to think, because that's what we all want for our students. We want them to think for themselves, because we can't always, yes, it's fine that we can help them along the way, but they need to think for themselves. That's just my opinion on that. So challenge them to think. And when it is time for them to think about your class content of what's happening inside your own classroom, they will likely do some more, working, doing this and that. Okay, why in the world did I start doing this? I have no idea. All right, so that is email your students for one chair moments of what she does. Now, you guys, I'm not saying that, and I should have said this at the beginning. You do not have to do exactly what I am giving you guys. You can implement, you guys, like I said, on previous episodes. And then I believe I said on last week's episode as well. Um, you do what's right for you. You do what's right for you, because nobody knows your classroom except for you. Okay, so you do what's best fitting inside your own classroom, right? Um, so yeah, okay. So the second I have of the one chair moments is right back to all of those emails. Yes. Yes, I know. Woo, you probably don't want to do. You probably have so much emails that you haven't been answering. Well, you guys, let me tell you this here, because this teacher has taught anywhere from 75 to 180 students a year. And of course, the number of students you have in a given year will impact how lengthy your responses are, to your emails. But don't make the early mistake that she has made, and equal it to a length with value. Okay, so for example, in a few sentences, okay, excuse me, you can ensure that a student feels heard. I know that's right. You guys, I'm so passionate about this here. And that's the real point. Exactly, exactly. We need to let our students be heard. We need to let them be heard. They need to be heard. They need to be seen. They need to be valued. This and that. And I know I did an episode to that, and I'm going to show you guys. It was actually, it was one of my, it was one of my heated. I say probably. I would say this was probably. I'm gonna go off track a little bit, you guys, but this was the most. Oh gosh, this was the most viewed episode seen onto my YouTube channel. And I had so, you guys, I had so many comments of when I had shared that episode onto YouTube. And then also, if you guys listen, on podcast platforms, on Anchor, Spotify, whatever. And then I also share, clips on um, Instagram. And I had so many response. to that episode there. And what I'm talking about is, you guys, of where um it was the episode of where I shared how it was like for me growing up being a black man in America. And I got so many, you guys can check it out. But I had so many feedbacks from the people that had watched that episode. And then some people, well, let me not say some people, there was a lot of people, if you check the comments on YouTube under that episode of, that they are not with me of what I had said into that episode. Um, and also when I had shared clips, like clips of that episode, and people was not with me of what, but the bottom line is I am just only, speaking on my behalf. This is my behalf. This is how, for me, of how I grew up being a black man in America. This is what I am dealing with. I'm not, sharing, I'm not expressing every black man. I'm just only speaking on my behalf because every black man in America experience. This is my view, and I'm probably going to get some hate saying this here, which is fine because this is my show. This is how I feel, and this is, and I say this a lot of time. This is just my view. This is just my opinion, you guys. You don't have to, trust me. Understand where I'm coming from. But for me, um, is that a lot of black men, I mean, yes, we do go through some, similar boats into our life, but not every black man goes exactly, because there are some black men out there, who had never been, experienced, let's say, being, pulled over by, a cop, being, you guys know the list. I'm not gonna, really dive deep into that, but not every black man experienced that. Of That's what I'm trying to say. Not every black man experienced that. So, um, yeah, but yeah, you guys can check out that episode. Um, I'm gonna have it to where you guys can check it out. And that was for me. I felt after I did that episode, I have felt great because I knew deep down, I knew that I was gonna get some hate from doing this episode here. I knew that. I know I was gonna get people who are not going to agree with what I had to say, who's gonna come at me. And guess what, you guys? I went back, to those comments, and I gave them straightforward. You guys can check it out of what I'm talking about. But and to sum this all up, at the end of the day, it's just my view. This is how I am living my life. This is how it is going right now, and I'm going to share what's happening, what's going on, because I like to share things out because, like I always say, somebody may be going in the exact same position that I am in, or who are going similar to what I'm going through. That's what I'm trying to do onto my show, is to share and hopefully, help somebody. If I can only help just one person out there, just one person out there, I feel like that I have done my job for this show. Because if if nobody understands, if nobody gives of what I'm talking about, then why in the world would I have kept on doing this show for two for I'm 2 years into this show, I believe, and 5 seasons in. Why would I keep on doing this show if nobody listens to what I'm talking about? If nobody gives me the encouragement, if every guest that had came on, they was like, Damon, if telling me, giving me, not praising me, doing this and that, why would I continue on doing it? Why? Why would I? That's the question I'm asking. That's the question I'm asking right now. Why will I continue on doing it? You want to know why? You want to know why I continue on doing this? It's because of you guys. It's you guys. You guys keep me pushing. You guys keep me going. I wouldn't have kept on doing this show if it wasn't for you guys, seriously, because after uh probably maybe probably season two. Probably yeah, probably at the beginning of season two, or probably toward the end of season one, because And I know I had told a story, but I'm a but anyways, why I was going to stop with the show. To be honest with, I was going to stop it because nobody's not paying attention to me. Nobody's not. I'm not being heard. I'm not being seen. I'm not being valued. I'm not being loved. I'm not being this and that. You guys, I know I'm getting heated up right now. It's totally fine. But why? Why? Why would I keep on doing something that nobody enjoys? Because I know that my followers, my listeners who has been with me since day one, you continue on supporting me. Supporting me, you guys, even though there's probably some episodes of the topics that I talk about you don't agree with me here, but at the end of the day, you still support me. You still support me of keep going, Demi, keep going. I see you. I see you. You are valued. You are going to be a phenomenal teacher one day. I like people like that who keep me going. And I appreciate you on today. I appreciate you all the time. Not just on today, but all the time. Okay, so I know I got a little off track, so let me get back on track, guys. But hey, it it is what it is, right? It is what it is, and I thank you guys. Okay, I thank you. So let me hop right back into this here. So going back to the right back to all of those emails correctly. So in just, like I said, in just a few sentences, you can ensure that a student, like I said earlier, they feel heard. And that's the real point at the end of the day. Now, with permission, first you have to get permission from your students. Share a few students' thoughts in class to show them that the quality of their thinking has impacted yours. Okay, so don't go out, and share without the students' knowledge because they don't probably want, you know, the whole class to hear, whatever activity or whatever, that you guys are doing. So permission first, okay? So that's number two of the one chair moments, right back to all of those emails, all right? So let me go on down to the two chair moments, okay? The two chair moments, which focus on relationships. You guys know I'm big on that. So, are you being intentional about setting aside space for relationship building? Now, and a veteran teacher named Retta Pearson famously said in one of her TED Talks, she quotes this: "Kids don't learn from people they don't like." Let me stop right there. And like she says here, I agree. I absolutely agree with that here. Kids don't learn from people they don't like. I'm just I'm just I'm gonna do a moment of silence on that right there. I'm gonna do a moment of silence because mm, mm, that should tell you something right there. Kids don't learn from people they don't like. Mm, mm, mm. All right. So she agrees, and she also add that it goes further than just student-teacher bonds. Okay. So, like I said, kids don't learn as well around kids they don't know or trust. Oh, wow. Hmm. So that means student bonding is just as important as student teacher bond. That's true. That is absolutely true. That is absolutely true because if your students can trust, let's say you pair them up in groups, and this one student does not like this other student or don't trust this student, how in the world are they going to work together inside the class? Doing activities, doing assignments together. How they're going to it's going to be chaos to me. It's going to be chaos. Mm, mm. All right. So under this, the two chair moments, I have the first is to go further with your weekly email describe earlier if you have this. So you will notice that several students who never speak to each other in class are actually thinking about similar things. This is when This teacher asked the students for permission to share excerpts of the reflection with each other, and the answer has always been yes. So she copies the relative sections. She adds a question or observation and asks that they reply all. And if they want to respond, if they want to respond. So in this way, she has seen deep, respectful friendship form with email change in the hundreds, all from students who sat next to each other without saying a single word. Isn't that amazing? Yes. So that is the power of challenging students to have a two-chair moment. That's excellent. That's excellent. I don't have anything to add to that because that's just, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So let's go down to the second of the two chair moments, which is say yes to ideas that allows your students to feel like individuals. They feel human. They feel like, you treat them as a human being. So work hard to eliminate any obstacles in their way as they build friendship based on that individuality. So one year, this teacher, she had a student who liked tea. I love tea specifically. I love iced tea, sweet tea. Mm. My potential former students, if you bring me that sweet tea or iced tea, you would do well in my class, okay? So this student, brought you know, this student who had liked tea, brought in an electric kettle. Well, this teacher one year, a student who liked tea, this teacher brought in an electric kettle, and then they were holding weekly tea parties with their whole class during lunch. Oh my goodness, love that. And another year, she had a student who loved to garden. Um, so she brought in a plant, and then other people brought her plants, and her classroom looked like a greenhouse. Wow. So she knew that these things because of the weekly emails, but but she acted on them to build the two-chair moments. I love that there. Yes. So say yes to ideas that allows your students to feel like individuals inside the classroom, right? So that is the two-chair moments. We're diving into the last part, the three-chair moments, which is go beyond class time. So here's the question I have for you guys. Are you creating space for your students to interact with society? Well, when a teacher became a teacher, wow. When this teacher, she had eventually, became a teacher, the last step of the writing process was publication, which meant stapling students' papers to a bulletin board inside her classroom. And that mattered. That actually did. That mattered to her. But if successful learning looks like students thinking or talking about um, her class outside of school hours, she wants to encourage them to share their thoughts and make an impact outside of the classroom. And that is what she calls ownership. And that is a three-chair moment. So the first she has, and I explained this a little earlier into one of her, I believe in a one-chair moment of where it's hold a TED Talk inspired event at their school. I was showing you guys, an example of a TED talk say that, and I gave a moment of silence where kids don't learn from people they don't like. Okay, so for this instant right here, hold a TED talk inspired event after school. Invite other teachers and students to watch your class present short speeches on something they have experienced or something they hold very deeply to them. Don't give them something. Don't give them like a prompt or a list of something. Let them choose. Let them choose for themselves. Don't always give your students, this is my opinion. Don't always give students, you have a paper, you have things, you want your students to choose from. What if on that list there's nothing they don't want to do? They want to do something else. Allow it. I'm certainly am inside my math classroom. some way, somehow. Let them choose. Don't always have a list for them. Okay, that's just with me. The second of the third chair moment is to get the wider community involved, the surrounding area. Okay, so once you have a really good idea of what your students are interested in, look at your own social network. Teachers know everybody. Yep, yep. And these people can be guest speakers, sources for internships, or most importantly, community mentors for your students. Okay, so you can create space for your students to sit with the things that matter most to them. Yes, and that should be their thoughts, their conversation, and their growing impact on the community around them. So, yes, so that is the third chair moment right there. And that is this topic right here, encouraging your high school students to think deeply, alone, and together. So, there you have it right there, folks. I hope you um jot everything that I had down for you guys. I hope you really did. So yeah. Again, you guys, if you like that of what I had talked about, you want me to, continue on, talk about stories about that. Let me know, you guys. Just hit me up on social media at Damian Talks Education. I'd love to hear from you guys. And who knows, I may mention you in a future episode for the topics that you guys want me to talk about. So please, you guys have anything you want me to talk about? It doesn't have to always, because I did something a little different this season. As you guys can tell, that not every episode I talk about education. I did something different. I'll show you guys, I did uh, a clean room episode. I did, um, what else? I did so many things this season. I shared, what are my fears. I shared, some personal stories. I did a lot this season. Not a single thing about education. I believe I only did education, talk about education probably for 2 to 3 episodes. That's it. I wanted to switch things up. But without that all the way, if you guys have something that you want me to talk about, it could be anything, to be honest with you. It can be anything except for politics. No, no politics. That's no, I'm not, that's for me. I feel that that's personal for me. That's personal. That's something that, because everybody is so divided right now in the world, whoever's, a Democrat, whoever's a Republican, who's liberal, who's this and that. I don't got time, you guys, to express my feelings to you guys, because you guys will probably come at me for what I have to say about, and so no, no politics, but it could be anything else. It could be, anything. Okay? Anything. So again, hit me up, social media at Damian Talks Education. So now, what is your news, Damian? Well, you guys know the news because I shared earlier. I was going to be talking about sharing the future of Damian Talks Education. So let me say this first here. Um, I'm trying to butter you guys up here. Um, and like I said earlier too, I really do appreciate all of you guys, for always tuning in every week with me to see what I have, what's on my mind, of what's happening into the educational world. And I feel like, you guys, I am literally growing. I am growing. And I know by the time I graduate from college, I finish college and I start my first year of teaching, I'm going to have so many, resources, acknowledgement. I'm going to have so many things because I have did this show. I have did the educators, and I have brought on to my show guests to share their input, and also onto the educator as well, from hearing from everybody's perspective, because we can, I know, and I want to hear as well, to the educators. with my co-host, we had some disagreements, of what we were talking about. But you guys, at the end of the day, we can worry about that later because we can all come together and just love each other and just be there for each other. And that is what we need right now into the world. So I just want to say that and just thank you guys for always supporting me. I see you guys. I really do. I see you onto my YouTube channel, you guys. I see you onto my social media, you guys. I see you everywhere. You continue supporting me, and I love you for that. I love you, love you, love you. Now, since I have buttered you guys all up, the future of Damian Talks Education. So, as you guys know, today is the season 5 finale of Damian Talks Education. So, what does that mean? Will you guys see me again for a new season? Yes, you will. Next year in May. Because you guys, here is the announcement here. I have decided to renew Damian Talks Education for 3 more years. Yes, 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 going all the way up until 2025. And I know I'm going to be more, mature by then because I will be 25 years old. Because right now, I'm 21 and I am about to turn 22, you guys. Oh my gosh. In a couple more weeks because this is November. Oh my gosh, you guys, I can't believe it. I'm about to turn 22. But anyway, yes, I have renewed Damian Talks Education for 3 more years, going all the way up till season 8. So yes, yes, yes. But I said but a lot onto the show. Um, so that's the good news right there, you guys. That's the good news. But here's also a sad news right here. Season 8, you guys, of Damian Talks Education in 2025, which will come out in 2025. That will be my very final season of the show. Yeah, yeah. I know. I know. You guys probably want me to continue on with the show forever. And I do too. I do too. But you guys, I'm thinking about you guys, my future. I'm thinking about my future because I know by then I will have, because you guys, I'm still in community college right now. I'm just taking it slow. I'm taking it very slowly. I'm not trying to rush school. I'm not trying to rush of being a teacher because I know eventually I will. I'm just taking the time, doing it very slowly. I'm not trying to rush. But you guys, I feel like that in that year, hopefully by the end of 2025, which I know I will probably be in my first or second year um, of teaching. And I don't think that by the time I be a teacher that this show will continue on into the aspect as it is now of me. I'm sitting down, you guys. I'm talking about what's currently happening into the educational world. If I can break on guests, etc., etc. But you guys, I will, once I become a teacher, probably my first year of teaching, or probably during my second year of teaching, I will bring the show back. I will. But it probably won't be the same aspect as it is now. I'm gonna, revamp it. It's probably not gonna be called Damian Talks Education. It's probably called something else. I will still, the purpose of the show is to, that is always going to stay, is to help you guys out there to support you guys, to help our students, our teachers, especially the students, because I want them to feel seen, you guys. I want them to be heard. And yes, my students, they will see episodes of to my show, you guys, or make sure of to that, so they can see how in the world was Damian, how was Mr. Anderson back then. And I would tell them that, you guys, I had shows back then. I would show this show here and also The Educator as well, to see, they're probably laughing at it. Yeah, but that's what I want to do. And also, um, potentially, also bringing in some guests as well, my fellow teacher friends. And hopefully, Andrew will return back, once he's a teacher as well. And hopefully we can, meet each other. So we can like actually do an episode together. So I could do an episode together with him. That would be so amazing, you guys. So and I know that will happen, and you guys will be the first to see that, okay? But yeah, I you guys, I can't keep, you know, I know, you guys, they're all good things. And I'm a big believer of this statement here, that all good things must come to an end. And sadly, you guys, it's this show right here. But not right now, you guys. It's going to be in 2025, so we still got three more. You guys still got 3 more years together with me, so you guys are stick. You guys are stick. You guys are stuck with me for another 3 more years. Can you handle it? Can you handle it? I don't know, because by then I'll be 25 years old. I'm quite see how mature I really am going to be, because I am mature, you guys. I am. Probably some of you guys don't even think that, but I am mature for my age. I'm very polite. I'm respectful. I'm nice. I'm friendly. I'm all the above, you guys. I'm all the above. And I really am mature at this age. I really am. So it's gonna be quite weird to see me, when I'm 25 years old, and I'm gonna look back onto, you know, Damian Talks Education, also the educators of the age that I was, because I believe when I started the educator, it was back in 2019. I was 19 years old. And when I started Damian Talks Education, which was in 2020, I was 20 years old. So, oh, that's going to be it. That's growth right there. That's growth right there. Growth right there. I should did this. I don't know if that's right, but anyways, so yeah, you guys, I'm not gonna keep rambling on, give you, a big long speech. I just wanted to share that with you guys because, um, yeah, I just, yeah, yeah. Um, I'm not trying to get really choke up about it, but again, thank you guys. Again, I can't thank you enough. Thank you guys for always supporting me. And my last season, you guys, make sure you stay to my final season. It is going to be the best season that I have ever done onto the show. So if you guys have any ideas, any plans of what you want the last season, because you guys, it is going to be a celebration for all of us, for me, to my fam out there. It's going to be a celebration to all of you guys. So again, you have any plans, you have any ideas for my final season, if you would like to be a guest onto my final season, my listeners out there, if you want to come onto my show, hit me up on social media, Damian Talks Education. I will give you guys all the info. You guys can pour out whatever you want, because I'll really want to meet you guys. I do. I want to hear from you. I want to see uh you guys, because you stick with me. You have been with me since day one, my OG fam, and I appreciate you guys. I do. Okay. So let me stop here. I'm not going to continue on. So yeah, that's the news. So that is the big news right there, you guys. Been renewed for 3 more years, and the sad news is that season 8 will be my final season. So that is the news right there, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me on today. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, so thank you guys for tuning in all season long with me. Thank you so much for being patient with me, all season long, because this season has really taught myself that Damien, when I have returned back with new episodes back in August, it has really taught me, Damien, you got to slow down. You got to slow down, take care of yourself. You don't have to always keep working, pushing yourself. Just take a step back. It is okay. It's fine. If you feel, Damien, into your heart that you don't want to continue on with just not this show here. It's nothing with this here. It's just whatever's going on into my life, whatever's going on, that Damien, I have to stop the things that I passionately love, that I love doing, put a pause onto that for a short time. Let me get myself back together because I don't want you guys to see me. I don't want you to see me the press onto the show, being all upset, sounding like coming here, like, hello, welcome to the Talks Education. I don't want you guys to see me like this, and I'm crying. I don't fix myself all together. I don't want you to see me like that. I don't. I want you to see the smile, the joy that I bring to you all, okay? So, yeah. So, that's it, you guys. That's a wrap on season 5 of Damian Talks Education. I will see you guys next year, in May of 2023. Yeah. So I'm going to take this time off, because I'm currently doing the educator right now, you guys. And that's going to be my main focus until we wrap up the season next year. And then I will be back, with my show, preparing for a new season, season 6. So you guys, big things are going to happen next season. So I like how I did the format of this season, and I am going to continue on doing that. Some episodes talking about education, then others it's going to be about me, what's going on in my life. And so yeah, so that's going to be from here on out, you guys. I believe I mentioned that earlier this season. If I have not, I like the idea. I'm going to continue on with that for season 6 and season 7, season 8, my final season. I'm not sure just yet because I want you guys to be a part of my planning for the final season. So, yeah. All right. So let me go ahead and end this, you guys, because I've been on I'm looking right now for 56 minutes, but I know this episode's not going to be long because I was, planning, I come on, and let me tell you guys this here because I believe I show you the format of how I record my shows. But when I come on, you guys, I get myself together. I don't hit the record button. I hit the record button, when I'm fully dressed, I'm fully ready to come. I already planned out what I'm going to talk about. So yeah, so I come on here, I get myself together, I plan out what I'm going to say to you guys. And yeah, so, and of course I take, pictures, to be posted onto social media, the graphic for YouTube and that sort of thing. So I'm just stop right here, you guys, because now I'm rambling. So you guys, thank you again for joining me this season. I really appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys next year in May 2023 for an all new season of Damian Talks Education. So until next time, take care of yourself, be blessed, and this is Damian Talks Education. I will see you guys next year.